Have you ever tried when you're on medicine and you forget to take it because your symptoms are not there, and then the symptoms get back and you realize you forgot to take the medicine? When you have PTSD, it's like for me, it's like what I want to do and what I can do is two different things. And when everything is good, when there's not a lot of stress and I'm not mind fucking myself all the time, then I forget to take it easy. I forget that I have to have breaks. I have to not say yes to everything. But I want to do everything. I want to do everything normal. And it becomes too much sometimes. I get allergy symptoms. My nose is all blocked. Sometimes I even get rashes on my hands and arms, my neck, my face even. Because I'm stressed out and I'm not listening to my body trying to tell me to slow down. It's like I have I have 10 coins when I start the day. And everything I have to do something, physical or otherwise, I have to use a coin. I have to use a coin to get out of bed, to take a shower, get something to eat, maybe work out. And then I have to go to the place where I have to work out. That's also a coin. I have to take a shower there when I'm done. I don't get energy by being with other people. I lose energy. I'm an introvert. I don't know if I've always been an introvert or if I'm an introvert because I have PTSD. It's like the chicken and the egg. I don't know which came first. But it doesn't really matter. And who cares? This is how my life is right now. This is how my life been all my life. I think I have PTSD even as an infant. But that's for another story. And right now, I'm at the point where I haven't listened to my body for a very, very long time. Such a long time that I have all the allergy symptoms. I can hardly sleep. It's actually about 2 o'clock at night here in Denmark, in my place. I have a hard time remembering things. I have to write everything down. I forget names, dates, times, addresses, birthdays. Even forget the name of my children sometimes. And right now, it's pretty bad because I've been running wild for a long time. And the reason why I'm making this video is actually because one of my followers said that it was a long time that I made a interview or a podcast or anything like that. And he actually noticed that my last interview didn't go that well. Because if you see that interview, if you haven't seen any of my other videos or interviews, you would think that I'm actually not very good at speaking English and understanding it as well. because that's what it sounds like. It sounds like I can't find the words because I actually couldn't. The words disappear when I'm very stressed. And it can be ordinary things. It can be toilet paper. It can be sunglasses, a pen. I just forget the word. I know what the thing is, but I can't ask for it, and I can't explain it because the word is gone. One time I was sitting with a friend. We were sitting in the clubhouse, I think 6 or 7 people, and I was looking at one of my friends, and I wanted to ask him of something, and I couldn't remember his name. And they were all laughing, talking to each other. The music was playing, and I was just sitting there looking at him, trying to remember his name so I could ask him. But I couldn't remember. And it didn't came. I had to wait till somebody else said his name because he couldn't hear over the loud music. And that kind of sucks. But it's like it's my life. I'm getting used to it. My environment, the people around me, not so much. But I always forget to take my medicine. I don't take any medicine for PTSD, but when I say medicine, I mean I have to relax. I have to take breaks between interview, podcasts, club stuff, meetings, whatever. And I don't always do that because I want to do these things, and I forget that there's a reason that I have a pension because of PTSD, and there's a reason I don't work, but I like to do all these things. I don't just want to sit at home watching TV all day. I want to do something. I want to talk to other people. I want to be with my friends. I want to tell people about all the bad shit I did in my youth and how I was treated as a child, because I don't want other people to end up the same way as me. It would be nice if I could use my experiences, good or bad, to help other people so they could take other choices in their life and not have to go through all the shit that I've been through, basically. And when I see my past as a tool that I can use to help others, that makes it easier to live with, and also it gives me a purpose. Sorry about that. My allergies is just running wild. I'm actually so stressed right now that I wake up several times a night. Sometimes I have to throw up because my body is so stressed that I can't keep anything down. I try to drink a lot of water because it's good for me, but when my body is stressed, I can't really keep it down, food or anything. It helps fasting 18 hours a day. I do that. I start eating at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and stop at 8 o'clock at night. Most days. Some days because of throwing up and other symptoms, I have to skip a day or two, but most days I try to keep it because it also settles my system, and it puts a lid on my PTSD because I'm not always filling my body with food or snacks or whatever. But it's hard when I have complex PTSD because my body is always in fight mode. No matter where I am, who I talk to, even at night when I sleep, I can hear the deer walking on the grass in my garden. That wakes me up. I can hear a mouse on the attic or in the wall. So the smallest sound. I used to, when one of my daughters, I have 3 daughters, if one of them was small, I used to visit her at her mother's place, and she had a dog, and she had a couple of hamsters, even a rabbit at some point, and I wouldn't get any sleep. I would visiting from Friday to Sunday, a whole weekend, and I wouldn't get any sleep at all sometimes, because every little sound, the dog drinking water in the middle of the night, or the cat, she had a cat too, running around playing with a little ball. So I was totally fucked up a whole week after sometimes. That's one of the reasons why I don't have any animals at home, because it takes away my peace. It's hard sometimes just taking care of myself, so have to take care of other creatures at the same time. It just takes up too much energy. And right now I'm in a kind of a hole, so I have to work myself up again because I completed all my energy. And it's not, well, it is something that happens once in a while, a couple of times a year, maybe. Sometimes only one, depends on how much there is to do and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the price of my past life discretions. It takes a toll. There's no freebies. There's a price for everything, and that's the price for the life that I lived. And that means that some days I just have to pull the cord and shut my phone off, be alone for a couple of days, and usually gets better. It depends on how long that I didn't listen to my body, that I just did everything I wanted, then it takes a longer. Before the pandemic, I used to hold lectures. I wrote 3 books. Now I'm writing 3 more, but we'll see when they'll get finished. But at that time, before the pandemic, I was giving a lot of lectures, and I got an opportunity to visit some schools with a company called Contact here in Denmark, and They were partly financed by the Danish government, and it was about, what do you say in English? Now the words just disappear. It was about extremists, and we were a lot of different people. I was in the Nazi party. If you follow me and saw some of my earlier videos, you probably know. If not, you do now. We had a soldier that had been in the war, and there were some left-wing extremists, Muslim extremists, Christian extremists, from all kinds of gangs and groups and walks of life. And we got the opportunity through this corporation to go out and visit schools and talk about our story and answer questions. And I also hold my own lectures, so I had in 5 years, I had over 300 lectures. And most of them were for school kids about extremists, and it was around 12 years to about 18, most of them. Excuse me. And when I signed on, I knew it was gonna be hard because of my PTSD. And along those 5 years, I went to the hospital 2 or 3 times with bleeding ulcers. Sorry, keeps on. Even my eyes are itching because my body's stressed. But where were we? Yeah, the lectures. So I was at the hospital. Actually, one of the times I was at the hospital, it was after a lecture. I should have. It was a weekend. We were away. I don't know, 3 or 4 people, and we were supposed to go to Aarhus, a big city, and go to hold lectures 3 different places. And I held the first one, and I started puking up blood. So I was at the hospital the second day, and the third day when we were supposed to go home, I took the last lecture, and I went home and slept for a week. But that happened 2 or 3 times in those 5 years. I was at the hospital 3 times. Yeah, it was 3. And after the pandemic started, we had about, I think, 70 lectures that was closed down because of it. And suddenly I didn't have much to do anymore, because I planned on using my all my energy for these lectures. So I was pretty much just sitting at home, being tired, sleeping all the time. And because now I had time to feel myself, to listen to my body, and all that stress just came crashing down. So it became a depression, and for almost 6 months I just sitting down, looking at the wall, until one of my friends, I borrowed his Netflix account, and I didn't have one, and still don't have, for a year. And then I had something to look at instead of just looking at the wall. But in that time, I relaxed. I got my strength back. Started writing, and it became a pretty good, productive time for me anyway. Because I wrote a book with poems from my past about setting words, feelings, and thoughts on old trauma and things from my past that I had a hard time letting go of. And that book went very well. And actually, I wrote so many poems that I have most of a second collection stored away. So when I write some more poems, then it will probably be done at some point. We'll see. I'm also writing a book about sex addiction, but I don't know when that's gonna be finished. But back to my PTSD and how things are right now is that I'm starting to get some energy back. I have a little more energy now. I've been tired for a very long time, sleeping almost 12 hours a day. Right now, I have more energy, but I have a hard time keeping food inside me and water. So I think that's just, I think it's just the stress is gonna get out of my system. So it's gonna take a while, but I'm still hanging in there. But like I said, it's something that happens once or twice a year. Sometimes it takes a long time to get back to normal. Sometimes it doesn't. But right now, where Sophia is starting to work in Sweden, building up her new company, I have more time to myself, and I think that's a good idea, because this is a bad one. I've been on the way down for a long time, not listening to my body, not taking care of myself, eating right, drinking right, sleeping, taking breaks, meditating, all the things I know is good for me and helps. There's just been too many things I like to do and like to be a part of, and now I have to pay the bill. That's life. But it's good to be on top of it, and I'm not afraid because I've been here before, but I had a little scare yesterday. I couldn't feel my face, my tongue got numb, and my arm was like it was in a press or something, like it was swallowing and hurting and sleeping at the same time. And then my leg, and I tried it a couple of times before, and it usually because my nervous system is overloaded, and it's then it's time to slow down. So that's a wake-up call. Next step is puking up blood and going to the hospital. So I have to listen to myself, but it's always a battle. People tell me, yeah, you have to take care of yourself, you have to sleep, you have to do this, that, take breaks, meditate. I know, but also have to live. And sometimes being me just means that I have to, if I want to live, I have to deal with the consequences. And there's always consequences. So it's a scale. I have to find the balance. And sometimes you get an invite, or you get a new idea or opportunity or whatever, and you just have to throw it in the oven while it's still hot before the opportunity goes away, and just deal with it when it's done. And I've been doing that too many times in the last couple of years. So last year I was down a short period, and now I'm down and on the way up again, slowly but surely. And this is the wake up call again. So take it slow and still be making my videos, still be taking care of the club. Because of all this going on in Denmark with the Russians and the Americans in Greenland, I've been doing something with the Home Guard, trying to be a member there as well, and that takes time and energy. So it's always a choice. How much do I want to do, and how much do I have to pay? But meeting new people and doing new stuff has also gives me some energy, even though it's the part where I have to be around other people. It's always like a battlefield in my mind. Even if I hold a lecture around school kids, 12, 13 years old, I always act like it's a war zone. So I look at these kids and see if, like they were adults, are they talking? Are they acting funny? What room are we in? Are there windows? Are there more than one door? Can I get out if anything happens? Is there anything I can use as a weapon if something happens? Is there anybody looking at me in a mystical way, or someone seems threatening, or something seems out of place? Always on the warpath, always ready to fight. And even when I had a friend over who helped me fix the new tiles in the shower, and I had to cut them. I know how to do it. I'd done it before, but he was helping me setting them up, and we worked for, I don't know, maybe 12 hours. And after 10 hours, I had to go outside and puke because my body was so stressed, because there was something I haven't done for many years. I've been on pension for what, 10 years, 10, 12 years now maybe. And I haven't cut tiles for a very long time. And with the snow outside, me running in and out in the hot and the cold, cutting tiles with a machine, that was enough for my body to get stressed. I didn't feel stressed, but then again, I slept 12 hours when we were done. So my body sure did. And that's also something that I still pay off from my past. I'm always in fight mode, always ready. And like I talked about earlier, the smallest sound in the middle of the night, I'm awake, I'm ready to fight. Even if there's nothing to fight against. But my body doesn't forget that easy. So here I am, trying to find my way back to my normal, or I don't know, normal, but my everyday routine. And it's just gonna take a while. But anyway, it was a longer explanation for a short question in my DMs. But I'm glad that some people that are following me actually noticed that I was not myself. I was a little out of tune at my last podcast, and that's how it is, being me, with PTSD and everything that entails. But maybe some of you out there has same problems, or something that you do that helps you when you're having bad days with stress or anxiety or whatever. But that was a little about me and my thoughts. Hope you can use it. And remember, don't have a good day, have a great one. See you next time. Peace.